Hello, I'm Jennifer O'Connell, the Executive Director of Down Syndrome Network, Arizona. 20 years ago in 2002, a group of parents of children with Down syndrome would get together to discuss the sometimes confusing situations that arise while raising a child with Down syndrome. From these gatherings, the Down Syndrome Network of Arizona was formed with the mission to educate, support, and advocate for those in our community touched by Down syndrome. DS Network achieves this goal through an open, supportive, and collaborative network that connects individuals and families with needed resources and information. A much-needed resource for people with Down syndrome is access to services provided through Arizona's Division of Developmental Disabilities, also known as DDD. The division provides supports and services to children and adults, such as support coordination, therapy services, day programs, in-home support, access to transportation, housing, and more. Qualifying for DDD services is important for Arizonans with Down syndrome, as it is a prerequisite to applying for Arizona long-term care services. DS Network serves over 2,500 families in the state of Arizona. Over the years, these families have expressed the challenges of qualifying for DDD services. Before DS Network's advocacy efforts, the state statute defined developmental disability as the individual having a cognitive disability, cerebral palsy, epilepsy, or autism. Having a diagnosis of Down syndrome was not considered an eligible diagnosis when applying for services. Individuals with Down syndrome had to qualify under the cognitive disability category, which created additional financial and emotional burdens for families and delayed access to care. In response to families' needs, DS Network formed an ad hoc committee to begin steps to advocate at the legislature for Down syndrome to be specified as an eligible diagnosis for DDD services. Thanks to the generous financial support of Absolute HCBS, a respite, attendant care, and habilitation services provider whose mission is to go above and beyond to compassionately serve people by delivering caring, quality services, truly did go above and beyond. Absolute provided an advocacy grant to help the Advocacy Committee retain the professional services of Goodman Schwartz Public Affairs, a local government affairs firm who worked alongside DS Network committee members to create new legislation, House Bill 2113. DS Network is extremely grateful to Representative Michelle Udall, who sponsored the bill and presented the bill at both the House and Senate Health and Human Services Committee meetings, where the bill was passed unanimously. We are also gracious to Representative Joel John for his co-sponsorship. During the committee hearings, parents of children with Down syndrome and self-advocates went to the state capitol to provide powerful testimony in support of this bill. On March 30th, 2022, House Bill 2113 was signed into law by Governor Ducey, and it will go into effect 90 days after the 2022 legislative session ends. Through the successful passage of House Bill 2113, Arizona has eliminated an unnecessary administrative burden for families by adding Down syndrome as a qualifying diagnosis for services. While adding Down syndrome as a qualifying diagnosis will lessen regulatory burdens on families, the proposed change does not mean that individuals are automatically enrolled in DDD. Once qualified by diagnosis, the family can more easily move to the next steps of the eligibility process. This is a big win and tremendous step forward for the Down syndrome community in Arizona. Cheers to former board chair Jill Nico. Cheers to former executive director Louise Bowden. Cheers to Down Syndrome Network board and committee members for turning this important issue into reality. Thank you.